The best way to generate leads and qualified sales meetings for any B2B business is cold email. Cold email is so good that we've helped some of our clients like Gemma Media generate over 100 leads and 50 qualified sales meetings in the first 30 days of launching their campaigns. But it's only that effective if done correctly. A lot of people running cold email are focusing on the completely wrong things. With that said, in this video I'll be walking through the only KPI metric that actually matters in cold email. So let's start off with mentioning the different statistics that might come up when running a cold email campaign. So you might have the open rate, reply rate, link clicks, and so forth. So with that said, let's just jump right in with open rates. So open rates are completely useless. Number one, because you're affecting deliverability by including it. There's literally a tracking pixel that is including all emails that you send, and a lot of spam filters and firewalls will just reject your email. I'm not saying it's only going to be because of your open rate, but again, it's just a factor, right? The most important thing is for you to actually land into the primary inbox of your customers so they can actually see your email. If they don't see your email, then you're not even getting your foot in the door, right? Number two, your emails should be sent in plain text, and it's as simple as that. Because again, it's really just useless, because it ties into number three, right? What will the open rate tell you exactly? How your emails are doing? Because if that's how you determine domain/inbox health, I suggest you watch some of my older videos to learn more about the fundamentals of cold email. Second off, it simply won't tell you anything accurately, right? Because there's way too many factors involved. Like if you have up-to-date data, meaning you have leads that are actually up-to-date, you have been doing your segmentation on point, spin tags, you checked for spam words, you have the proper DNS settings, you have a good inbox provider, you're not using any third parties, inbox managing, there's literally like way too many to count, right? Just keep it simple. Get good data, segment properly, check for spam words, use spin tags, obviously set up the DNS records correctly, use either Microsoft or Google inboxes, I recommend Microsoft, and turn off open rates. Because again, it makes no sense. Like the way you kind of would want open rates is to kind of check like, okay, are my emails getting opened even? But I mean, like, you're basically taking away from the chance of your email actually being opened, because by having them on, it's just another factor and another reason to why your email should go into spam, right? So just turn it off. Don't worry about it. Just say in plain text. And again, like I said, keep it simple. Quick note I also wanted to throw in here. It's not really with this video, but I kind of wanted to touch on bounce rate as well, because I don't think I've touched it in many other videos. Bounce rate, non-negotiable, must be under 3% absolute max. Otherwise, you'll just burn your domains. If it does go over 3%, just submit your lead list to re-verify in another tool. We're actually working on a tool automation for it, where this does happen, where the campaign is automatically paused, plus the team is notified and the lead list is automatically exported, submitted for re-verification, and then re-imported again into SmartLead, because they just have very good API. Moving on to reply rates. Here I'd actually rather just give you an example to kind of make you understand yourself why it doesn't really matter that much. Because here, in a campaign on the screen right now, we did for a client in our media, we sent out 10k emails roughly, including follow-ups. We got a 68% reply rate, right? And that's insane, right? Now I don't remember exactly the amount of meetings that we actually booked for this campaign, but I imagine it was around the 50 mark. And I also don't remember how many net new contacts were in this campaign, but you know, this was a campaign in EU. And if you've seen on my any of my other videos, you know that in EU we do a lot of follow-ups. I'm talking like 5 to 10. Obviously not as once. We might run the lead list with 5 follow-ups. If we don't get any replies, then we might re-hit that list in a few weeks or so, which we've done with this campaign, which is worth noting. So with that said, let's just pretend that there was 3,000 different people in this campaign, right? I think it was around this number. I think I'm putting it a little bit higher now, but yeah, I'm just trying to make you understand a little bit more about the reply rate. So again, with that said, let's say 3,000 different people in the campaign, giving us a contact to meeting ratio of around 60, meaning that for every 60 people that we contacted, 1 jumped on a meeting, right? Because we sent, again, we booked 50 calls, and let's say there was 3,000 different people. Again, that's a contact to meeting ratio of 60, which is great. Obviously, it's a very, very successful campaign. But to put it in perspective, another example is our client Leads.io, where we have in one campaign that is very recent, we sent out roughly 12,000 emails, including follow-ups, so a bit more. Reply rate was 9%, but we also booked over 100 meetings. So over 100 meetings. But just to make it cutthroat and just very simple to understand, I just put it to 100. And we also have clear stats here of how many net new contacts we reach out to, which is half. So we only had 1 follow-up per new contact that we reach out to. Like again, this campaign is so recent, so we haven't even had time to re-hit it. And since we're only doing 2 follow-ups, there's a very, very good chance that when we do re-hit this list, I'm expecting very, very good results, because again, if this is the kind of, you know, results that we got in the first hit, the re-hit is usually, you know, I'm expecting at least 50 new meetings from the same list when re-hitting it. So again, it really gives the same contact lead ratio. So every 60 people, one jumps on a call. The thing is, leads.io's campaign is a little bit better just because we booked over 100 meetings. But just to make it clear for this video, I just wanted to do that. They have the same contact lead ratio. But again, here's the kicker, like one list has already been re-hitted. The initial one with almost 70% reply rate, that's already been hit more than once, right? Yet they're still on the same contact lead ratio with leads.io's campaign having more re-hits to come, meaning that we're going to be making more meetings from the same list, meaning that the one with 9% reply rate is actually more successful, even though, again, they are both extremely successful, but I think you get my point. Meaning that, again, just because it had 70% reply rate, it doesn't make it the most successful one. Rather, a campaign with just 9% reply rate is, you know, it can be better. Meaning, again, this should not be a metric that you're focusing on when you're trying to make your cold email campaigns work. Because at the end of the day, what you want from your cold email campaigns is meetings, right? Like that's the only thing you care about. Link tracking, I won't actually cover. If you're using, for example, like personalized videos or whatever, like let the actual video platform track the link, not the sales engagement platform. Like don't use the link tracking feature because it just adds extra nonsense to the code. With that said, I think you figured out that the main KPI to track the success of your cold email campaigns is how many net new contacts do I need to reach out to before I book in a meeting. Why? Number one, because it gives you so much predictability. If you manage to consistently crack booking one call every 200 emails you send to new people, you know that, okay, I need 5 calls today, let's scale up the volume. Obviously, again, your TAM has to support it, but again, I think you get the point that I'm trying to make. And again, too, because it's, at the end of the day, that's what you care about. Again, you care about the conversions, right? You wouldn't care if you got a 30% reply rate if you made no meetings, but you sure as hell would love a 5% reply rate if you're printing calls. So again, that's the only thing you should be optimizing for. Because again, it is the best way to assess if a campaign is successful or not. Just tracking your lead to meeting booked ratio or contact to lead ratio. Now, tracking that effectively on a daily basis and also keeping track of all your tests you're running to continue to optimize to even hit the initial KPI and to stay there, the amount of different hooks and angles and A/B tests you're going to be having to go through, it's a lot. And also, again, to track that. And I'm not even covering the maintenance, getting the leads, making sure that the leads are actually up to date, meaning that you have good data sources, writing the copy. So again, not even the hooks, doing market research to actually resonate, using AI to keep your emails relevant, etc. Like it's a full-time job in itself, right? And that's also why we offer to take it 100% off your hands, fully done for you. So with all of that said, if you're a B2B business that's tired of relying on referrals and want a predictable way to acquire new business, then click the first link in the description and book a call with me. I'll be able to understand more about what you're currently doing right now, what kind of potential you might be able to see, and if we think we can help you. So again, click the first link in the description right now to book a call, and I'll speak to you soon. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Ciao, ciao.